Uppalavaṇṇā Therī Apadāna, where the Buddha placed Bhikkhunī Uppalavaṇṇā in that foremost place. To the crowds, he announced her, best of those with superpowers. Translated from Tipitaka Mula by Jonathan S. Walters, read by Dr. Marlai Ouch. Therī Apadāna, The Legends of the Theris, 19, Uppalavaṇṇā. The nun named Uppalavaṇṇā, master of the superpowers, having worshipped the teacher's feet, spoke these words to him at that time. Birth and rebirth crossed beyond. I've attained the unshaking state. All sufferings destroyed by me. I'm declaring it, O great sage. Throughout the multitudes who are pleased in Buddha's dispensation, if I'm wronged some people, may they forgive it facing the victor. Great sage, I'm declaring that if there's some mistake I've made transmigrating in existence, may you forgive that transgression. Show your superpowers to those who practice my dispensation. Cut off today the doubts throughout the multitude, which is fourfold. Great hero, I am your daughter, O wise one, O effulgent one. I've done very difficult deeds, difficult and numerous too. My skin is blue lotus colored. By name, I am named Blue Lotus. I'm your follower, great hero. Worshipping your feet, I for one. Rahula and I myself, due to our similar mindsets, were born in the same conditions, various hundred, many times. Rebirth is together with him, and afterbirth too together. Now in our final existence, both born in varied conditions. Together, Rahula's your son. I'm your daughter, named Blue Lotus. See my superpowers, hero. I'll show my strength to the teacher. She put the 4 great oceans down into the palm of her own hand, just like a youthful physician does oil destined for the bladder. Tearing up earth, she put it down into the palm of her own hand, like a tender young boy picking a flower that's full of color. Her palm, big as the universe, covering the world from the top, caused raindrops of various hues to rain forth again and again, making earth into a mortar, making Mount Meru her pestle. As though a youthful grinding girl, grinding grain flour, she made gravel. I am the best Buddha's daughter. By name, I am named Blue Lotus, a master of superpowers. I practice your dispensation, making varied transformations, showing them to the world's leader, announcing name and lineage. I worship your feet, I for one. I've mastered the superpower called the divine ear element. I'm also a master, great sage, of the knowledge in others' hearts. I remember my former lives. My divine eye is purified. All the defilements are destroyed. I will not be reborn again. In meaning and in the teaching, etymology and preaching, my knowledge is vast and flawless through the great sage's majesty. In the present and the absence of the chief victors, formerly much service was performed by me for the sake of you, O great sage. What good karma was done by me, formerly in existence, sage, that merit heaped up by me was for the sake of you, great hero. Avoiding wrong behavior and the 9 impossible places, the ultimate life's my duty was for the sake of you, great hero. I donated from my own funds 10,000, 10 millions in gold. My very life was abandoned for the sake of you, great hero. Then all of them, greatly composed, hands pressed together on their heads, said, Sister, how do you make the effort for such unmatched superpower? 100,000 eons hence, I was a cobra-god maiden known by the name of Vimala, well honored among the maidens. The great cobra, Maharaga, pleased in Buddha's dispensation, invited Padamudara of great power with followers, sounding musical instruments, going out to meet the Sun Buddha. He made the Buddha's road ready, a pavilion made up of gems, a palanquin made up of gems, things to enjoy made out of gems, strewn with sand that was mixed with gems, adorned with flags covered in gems. The world's leader, surrounded by the multitude, which is fourfold, sat down on an excellent seat there in Maharaja's palace. The Cobra King, greatly famed one, gave excellent food and drink. Hard food that's filling, soft food to drink, very costly. Having eaten, having rinsed the bowl completely, the Sun Buddha then made an expression of thanks to us, the cobra-god maidens, discerning what was in my heart and my mind, which was fixed on him, taking pleasure in the teacher. When the cobra maidens had seen the one whose name was Best Lotus, greatly famed all-knower in bloom, that great hero, at that moment, showed a nun with superpowers. That Buddhist nun, very skillful, displayed diverse superpowers. Thrilling with delight and awe-struck, I said this to him, the teacher. I too saw the superpower of this happy Buddhist nun. Just how, hero, did she become so skillful in superpowers? This nun with great powers is my legitimate daughter, Mouthborn. She's followed my instructions, thus she's so skilled in superpowers. Hearing the words of the Buddha, delighted indeed, I aspired. I too shall become such a one, so skillful in superpowers. I am delighted, I am happy in the not yet become future. My supreme aspiration reached. I will be like her, O leader. Satisfying with food and drink, the world's leader would assembly on a palanquin made of gems within a shining pavilion. I worshipped him, the world's leader, that my color should be that of an Adona type blue lotus, foremost flower of the cobras. Due to that karma done very well, with intention and firm resolve, discarding my human body, I went to Tavatangsa then. Fallen from there, being reborn as a human being, I gave a self-become lonely Buddha, arms food covered with lotuses. In the 91st eon hence, the leader known as Vipassana arose, the one good to look at, the one with eyes for everything. Being a millionaire's daughter in Benares, supreme city, invited him, the Sun Buddha, the world's leader with assembly, after donating a very large alms-giving to the guide. In worshipping with lotuses, I wished through them for splendid color. In this present lucky eon, Brahma's kinsman, greatly famed one, the Buddha known as Kassapa was born, the best of debaters. The attendant of the great sage was a ruler of men back then, the king of Kasi, named Keke, in Benares' greatest city. I was that king's second daughter, who was named Samrakutta. Hearing the best victor's teaching, I chose to seek ordination. Our father did not permit it. We stayed at home during that time, comfortable royal maidens, doing our practice with vigor in virginal celibacy for 20 times 1,000 years, fond of waiting on the Buddha, the king's 7 joyful daughters. Samanai and Samanakutta, Bhikkhuni, Bhikkatiyika, Dhamma, and also Sudama, and 7th Sangatayika. Now I, and a nun named Kema, Patachara, and Gundala, Kisakotami, Dhammadina, and Visakha is the 7th. Due to those karmas done very well with intention and firm resolve, discarding my human body, I went to Tavatangsa then. Falling from there, being reborn as a human in a great clan, I gave an arahant a robe of costly saffron-colored silk. Falling from there, reborn among Brahmins in Aratapura, daughter of Therī Apadāna, I was charming, Amatanti. Falling from there, I was born in an undistinguished royal clan. I was then engrossed in guarding rice in a not quite ripened field. Having seen a lonely Buddha, giving him 500 grains of roasted paddy, lotus-covered, I wished to have 500 sons. With those wishes, having given honey to that self become one, fallen from there, I was reborn in a lotus in the forest. Being the Gazi king's chief queen, I was respected and worshipped. I bore a royal princess for him, not one fewer than 500. When my sons had become young men, while sporting at their water sports, seeing fallen lotus petals, they turned into lonely leaders. I was then grieved, being bereft of those heroes who were my sons. Falling from there, I was born in a village near Isikali. When I, Buddha Mother reborn, then well guarded myself, was going carrying right gruel, having seen 8 lonely leaders going to the village for alms, I remembered my former sons. Then a stream of milk spurted out from me out of love for my sons. And then I gave rice gruel to them, feeling well pleased by my own hands. Falling from there, I was reborn in joy with the 33 gods. Feeling both happiness and pain, transmigrating from birth to birth, my very life was abandoned for the sake of you, great hero. Thus, suffering in various forms of happiness. When my last rebirth was attained, I'm born in Sravasti city, in a wealthy millionaire's clan, comfortable, decorated, glistening with various gems, endowed with every sense pleasure. I was respected and worshipped, revered, likewise also esteemed. I achieved radiant beauty, much respected among the clans. And I was very much desired through the good fortune of beauty, desired by various hundreds of millionaires' sons living there. After abandoning my house, I went forth into homelessness. When 8 months had not yet elapsed, I attained the 4 noble truths. With superpowers, creating a chariot with 4 horses, I will worship the feet of the Buddha, world's Lord, resplendent one. O nun, having approached a tree in full bloom, you remain alone at that sallow tree's roots. You have no second in natural beauty. Foolish one, aren't you afraid of wanton men? Even if 100,000 wanton men come to this place, should behave in such a way, I would not be terrified, not a hair raised. I'm not afraid of you, death, when I'm alone. I, this nun, am disappearing. I'm hiding in your belly. You do not see me standing here in the spot between your eyebrows. Becoming master of my mind, I developed superpowers. I'm liberated from all bonds. I am not afraid of you, friend. Sense pleasures are swords and daggers, the heap's executioner's blocks. I now dislike the enjoyment of sense pleasures of which you spoke. Everywhere enjoyments are slain, the mass of darkness is destroyed. Know it like this, O evil one, you have been killed, O end maker. The victor, pleased by my virtue, then placed me in that foremost place. To the crowds, the guide announced me best of those with superpowers. The teachers been worshipped by me. I have done what the Buddha taught. The heavy load has been laid down, the ties to existence severed. The reason for which I went forth from my home into homelessness, I have now achieved that purpose, destruction of all the fetters. By the moment they are bringing me monastic robes and baking bowls, all the requisites and lodgings, and the thousands from everywhere. My defilements are now burned up. All new existence is destroyed. Like elephants with broken chains, I am living without constraint. Being in best Buddha's presence was a very good thing for me. The 3 knowledges are attained. I've done what the Buddha taught. The 4 analytical modes, and these 8 deliverances, 6 special knowledges mastered. I've done what the Buddha taught. Thus, indeed, Bhikkhunī Uppalavaṇṇā spoke these verses. The legend of Uppalavaṇṇā Therī is finished.